Okay, let's dive right in. We're surrounded by heroes every single day, and we might not even realize it. They're not wearing capes or anything like that. They're literally rooted in the ground. I'm talking about our forests, and they are absolutely essential to keeping our planet and us alive.
But here's the first thing we really need to get our heads around. Not all green, tree-covered land is a real forest. No way. There are imposters out there, and knowing the difference, well, it's vital.
So on one side, you've got a real forest, this complex, buzzing, thriving ecosystem where every single tree, animal, and plant has a job to do. I mean, if you listen closely, you can almost hear the life in there. But on the other side, a monoculture plantation, just endless rows of a single species. And if you listen there, it's dead silent. One is a living, breathing community. The other is basically a factory for one crop. The balance is completely gone.
And that balance is everything, because true, healthy forests are home to an incredible 80% of all life on Earth. Just think about that. From the tiniest microbe in the soil to the biggest animals roaming around, they are the planet's great cradles of biodiversity.
So today, we're going to explore their secret life. We'll look at what makes a real forest, their superpowers as the planet's lungs and sponges, all the gifts they give us, the massive threats they're facing, and finally, how we can all fight back to protect them.
All right, let's start with their first major superpower, their role in keeping our climate stable. They are, quite literally, the lungs of our world.
So how's it work? It's something called carbon sequestration. Basically, trees breathe. They breathe in all the excess carbon dioxide that we humans produce, and they lock it away safely in their trunks, their branches, their roots, and even in the soil itself. They are the single most effective buffer we have against a warming climate, period.
And the scale of this is just staggering. A single hectare of forest, that's about the size of a rugby pitch, can lock up anywhere from 1 to 10 tons of CO2 every single year. It's a cheap and unbelievably effective way to fight climate change.
But they do way more than just clean our air. Forests are also masters of managing water and protecting the very ground we stand on.
Now, what's really fascinating here is what's happening underground, out of sight. That dense, tangled network of tree roots gives the soil this amazing structure, turning it into a kind of natural sponge. So when heavy rains come barreling down, this sponge soaks up and holds onto huge amounts of water, preventing the kind of devastating floods and landslides that wash away precious soil.
So what this all means is that forests act like giant water filters, cleaning the drinking water that ends up in our rivers. They keep riverbanks from eroding, and they can even help attract the rain we need to grow our food. They're basically the guardians of both our water and our soil.
Okay, moving beyond these huge planetary benefits, let's talk about the direct, tangible gifts forests give us, for both our bodies and our souls.
This is a massive number. Around 2 billion people, mostly in rural communities, depend directly on forests to survive. It's where they find shelter, food, and water. For them, it's home. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? This is an authentic voice from a forest community. And she says that from the forest, they earn their rosy roti, their daily bread. It's not just some place, it's their entire livelihood.
And these benefits extend to all of us. Wood from forests that are managed sustainably is a renewable, climate-friendly building material. And beyond the physical stuff, forests are an escape. Studies have shown the #1 psychological benefit for people who visit is simply mental relaxation, a powerful antidote to all our stress.
Okay, so we've seen how incredible forests are. Now we have to face the hard truth. Our planet's heroes are in very, very grave danger.
Here's another shocking statistic. And yep, it's 80% again. But this one's about what we've lost. In just a few thousand years, human activity has wiped out 80% of the planet's original forest cover. What we have left is just a tiny fraction of what was once there.
Let that just sink in for a moment. Every single second that passes, another football pitch worth of forest just vanishes. It's a rate of destruction that's almost impossible to even imagine, but it is happening right now, as we speak. So why is this happening? Well, the overwhelming reason, as you can see here, is clearing land for industrial agriculture. And a huge slice of that is to grow crops like soy, not for us to eat, but to feed the massive global cattle industry to satisfy our ever-growing demand for meat. I know the picture can seem really bleak, but it is not hopeless.
We know what the problem is, and that means we also know how to fight back.
So, the big question is, how do we turn this thing around? It starts by recognizing the true value of forests and empowering the people who know them best.
And check this out. Here's a fantastic real-world example. In Himachal Pradesh, India, a system called Payment for Ecosystem Services, or PES, was set up. Villagers who depended on a local spring were given direct financial incentives to protect the forest that was their water source. And the result? They protected the forest, and the water came back. It's a model that proves when local communities actually benefit from conservation, forests are pretty much guaranteed to survive.
And this is where you come in. We could all be part of the solution. First, consume less meat. It's simple. This reduces the main economic pressure driving deforestation. Second, support indigenous groups and local associations. They're on the front lines defending these forests every day. And third, get informed about the laws in your own country. Is your government counting monoculture plantations as forests? We need to advocate for real protection and real restoration.
For millennia, forests have been taking care of us. They've given us clean air, fresh water, a stable climate, you name it. The question now is a simple one. Will you be a hero for our planet's heroes?